Good afternoon, my friends. It is I, the OGGM, coming to you live from a small island off the coast of Costa Rica here at Site B at 11:50 in the morning on the 22nd day of September in the year of our Lord Steve the Cat, 2023, and we made it almost an entire week without any Wizards of the Coast news, which for Wizards of the Coast is a godsend. And I guess they were just waiting till today or last night to let us know that nope, we're still here. Now, to preface this, before we go into this story about this announcement, we have to, of course, go into what is an alpha tester or a beta tester, and how much does a beta tester get paid normally. So the average hourly rate for a big starter beta tester in the industry is about $13 an hour. So you go in day one, week one, you're beta testing a game, a book, a TV show, toothpaste, whatever. Bare minimum, you're going to bet $12-13 an hour. You get no profit sharing, no bonuses. You get a 45-minute lunch, standard minimum wage, retail-ish type job of just going and looking at hundreds of different types of crackers or whatever it is beta testers do, or if you're a video game beta tester, then you just go through the program over and over and over again and try and find things wrong with it. Several hundred years ago, I tried to get a job as a beta tester, despite having absolutely no computer skills whatsoever. And I even interviewed with Activision, which was a miracle, and made it to, the vice president of office of Activision at the time. And because I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, but I obviously didn't get a job because I don't know the first thing about computers. And now, several thousand years later, I still don't know the first thing about computers, but I do have access to Google. So I can look up and tell you that if you were to go and work at any other company that was hiring beta testers for an upcoming product, bare minimum, you would get $13 an hour plus lunch. No bonuses, no profit sharing, but at least you'd get that and maybe holiday pay. Now you're probably wondering why I just told you all that and what that has to do with this. Well, this morning, Wizards of the Coast on D&D Beyond announced that they are going live with their master tier subscription and their new maps. So remember, D&D Beyond / Wizards of the Coast has been supposedly play testing a VTT for a while. In fact, if we go all the way back to 2020, where fuck you, they said they were going to do this. I cannot believe people are still upset about this. They said that they were going to be working on a VTT. And we've known that there's been various takes on this for a long time. But several months ago, they announced it was in the alpha test phase. They even showed us an alpha test during that weekend-long weird thing where they got a couple YouTubers and people to go through the alpha test of the VTT and go through a sample adventure of the alpha test of the VTT. Of course, later on, we did find out that that was a pre-programmed series of interactions and wasn't actually a VTT of any sort. They weren't actually doing anything. It was already pre-programmed. They had very little control over what would happen. So it was more of just going through a very simple point-and-click video game. Well, they have informed us that the maps is now on D&D Beyond. So now you can pay Wizards of the Coast for the privilege of beta testing their new maps program to see what is wrong with it. You will now be able to get a free trial tier of the master tier. The master tier normally costs you $5 a month. You can get the first month for free. And if you do get the master tier, you will be able to beta test the maps. You'll be able to explore the FAQ. You'll be able to answer the feedback surveys. You'll be able to look at the maps and look at the improvements they're having in the maps. So right now, it sounds like the VTT is not going to be a separate VTT. It's going to be going on D&D Beyond. There'll be pre-made campaigns that you can test on the maps, like Lost Mines of Phandelver. What a surprise. Now, do we actually have a demo of what this will look like anywhere on here? No, No, we don't. We have the look of what the new interface for D&D Beyond is going to look like. I guess it's because they're changing the interface. They will have the, of course, extra monthly perks that you can pay for and the gift boxes and stuff like that. Okay, so you get your $5 a month plus your $30, $15 a month. Then you got to pay for all the other books, which is another $20 to $30 per book. Then you can get all these little upgrades and cool things, the gift boxes. If you join up for this $5 a month master tier, you can get early access to the tools. You can now have the privilege of paying them to host your homebrew content, which they can change at any point in time without letting you know that they changed it. You will now have the ability to share your books with friends, as long as they also have the master tier. But most best of all, you can host game sessions with maps and use the map program. Mind you, we don't have a picture of what the maps are going to look like. We just know that they are alpha testing the maps starting today. You can pay $5 a month for the privilege of alpha testing their program, finding out what's wrong with it, responding to surveys so they know what they have to change, going through all the nightmares and harassment and hassles of alpha testing a program that was originally not meant to be part of D&D Beyond, but now I guess it sounds like they're giving up on it being separate, and it's just going to be now part of D&D Beyond. So, of course, they have to completely reprogram D&D Beyond to run at least at the same level of Owlbear Radio, which is one of the most bare bones VTTs out there, but in my humble opinion, also one of the best because it's very bare bones. I love Owlbear Radio. So, if we're getting to the OGGM tiers of VTTs that he's seen so far, Owlbear Radio is number one because it's simple. And if I could figure out Owlbear Radio, anybody could. So that is my gold standard for VTTs is Owlbear Radio. So they're offering you a service that is almost as good as Owlbear Radio being free, and you get to pay them for the privilege of testing this for them. So rather than hire someone to do this and pay them $13 an hour, plus give them whatever, the requirements for working for Wizards of the Coast is in Seattle, an hour lunch, insurance. I don't know. It's different for every state. I don't know what Seattle's nonsense is with like insurance and unions and whatever, but I'm going to assume, if it's bare, consider it the similar to going to work for any bare minimum retail. There's certain things they got to give you, right? You got to get a break. You got to get a lunch. You can only work so many hours, paid holidays, blah, 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 blah. Super secret double holiday overtime for people who know what that is. That's the dream job. You have to work retail and you have to work at holidays. You want the super secret holiday double overtime hours. I always went for those. And people are always like, why do you want to work the 3 a.m. shift? And I was like, super secret double overtime plus holiday pay. Yeah, I'm getting like $30 an hour to stand here and put stickers on things. So what a joy. What a bonus. What a great idea for marketing and furthering the economy and helping people out. You could go to a technical college, hire some 21-year-old kid, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, full of energy, who really wants to work for the industry, pay them the bare minimum of $12, $13 an hour to beta test, alpha test your program, take their, 6 years of training and experience and their degrees and everything they've learned about alpha testing, and throw them into the pool with a number of other people of the same or better level of skills, working together to create a fully functional product that has been gone over multiple times by people who actually know what they're doing. Or I could offer you the privilege of paying us $5 a month to do our job for us, knowing full well 30% of you probably don't know the first thing about computer programmers or programming or beta testing or HTML or data mining or any of the other stuff. You're just gamers. You just point and click and enter information. And we're going to charge you for the privilege of doing this job for us and answering our questions. Now, of course, we know many of you won't know what this means, but for out of the 30, 40, 100,000 of you that have no idea, there might be one who actually knows a thing or two about computers, and that person might offer us a kernel of something that would actually be productive to moving the program further. Now, of course, because this is Wizards of the Coast and we are doing this via survey, there are certain things we expect you to say in the survey. And if you don't, well, we'll just change things until we get the answer we want, or we'll just discontinue to associate ourselves with you. But again, isn't it great that we're charging you $5 a month for the privilege to do this when normally we would pay somebody to do this? But if we pay somebody to do this and they complain, they have a legal aspect to actually pursue charges against us if we, fuck them over. They could at least go on YouTube and talk shit about us. But since you're paying us the privilege to play test this for us, even whether you actually have any experience in beta testing or not, we don't care. We're just looking for bodies at this. And you do something that we consider no, well, you've already signed the NDA and the do not complete and all the other things, so you can't really go online and badmouth us. The worst that's going to happen is, well, we're still going to take your money, but we're not going to let you have access to the maps anymore because you were a no alpha tester. But for the other one of you stupid marks who are paying us for the privilege to do our job for us, we greatly appreciate the fact that at the end of every month, you'll be filling out this survey with answers that may or may not have any level of expertise behind them. Of those answers, we might pay attention to the ones that actually give us the answers we want. But if there's anything in there that doesn't go against what we already have in our mind, well, then we're just going to toss it aside, kind of like we did with the last year of the playtest for 2024 D&D. Aren't we great? Aren't we great? I, the OGGM, need to adopt this. I need to adopt this idea. So from this point on, I think I should charge you for the privilege of listening to me talk, right? Right? Isn't it the same idea, right? You're paying me to do my job for me. And if I don't like what you do, well, I've got 200 other people who are going to do the exact same thing and pay me, Wizards of the Coast, for the privilege to alpha test my thing. So I don't have to pay somebody $12 an hour to do it for me. Brilliant. Freaking brilliant. Can't see anything wrong with this. Genius. Sheer corporate genius. Hey, the economy's struggling. Hey, we've got homelessness in Seattle. Hey, there are hundreds of people out there who are qualified to do this job. We could hire them. Or, hear me out, we could charge people $5 a month for the privilege to do this for us. Because yes, that'll help the economy. That'll foster jobs and goodwill for Wizards of the Coast. Thank you for your $5. Fill out the survey. Thank you for the $5. Fill out the survey. Thank you for your $5. Fill out the survey. This is genius. I see nothing wrong with this. Or just let me offer you an alternative reality. Just ignore everything I just said for the past 14 minutes and instead head on over to the Red Room and take your hard-earned $12 and buy my merch because it's available on the Red Room. For an average of $8, you could get Wretched Vigilantes. For $6, you could get Bad Guys Never Win. For $2, you could get my brand new Minions or my Halloween special. I mean, if you're going to spend money on a gaming product to support a gaming product, you might as well give me the money. Pay me the privilege to create product for you. That's just genius. If you appreciate me making fun of Wizards of the Coast every week, let me know. If you don't appreciate me doing this, let me know. If you don't believe me that Wizards of the Coast is actually doing this, I have posted the links, including the link to Tanker's Tavern, where this was first breached. Again, sheer business genius, Wizards of the Coast. Who would have thunk? Now it'll be a matter of time to see how many people generally pay $5 a month for the privilege of doing beta testing for Wizards of the Coast, rather than Wizards of the Coast paying them $12 an hour for the privilege of beta testing. It's just genius. I mean, if this works, it's genius. I mean, fuck them all they want, but if this works and they actually can convince people to pay them for the privilege of doing their job for them, fucking genius. But what do you think? Let me know. Till then, that's it for today. I am the OGGM. Please take a moment to subscribe. Check out the links down below to my amazing merch, and we'll talk to you soon.